Hello gang, ChefShot21 here. It has been a while, and I've recorded a few videos saying that it's been a while, but you know, such is life. I think finally this one will get out, so this one first, then some foreign stuff and some Jeep stuff, and probably some other stuff with some intros going, hey, it's been a while, sorry about that. As of this filming, it's been, 9 months, something like that, since I dropped a video, and I apologize for that. It's been a crazy, crazy fall. Anyways, today's video is an unboxing and assembly for a fairly cheap heat set press. Now, I've done I've printed off some modified parts for it, so it's going to be a little different than the standard one, and I probably don't have all the parts for it, but you'll at least be able to see the idea of what's going on here. And I will, finish it and get some updates done. I bought this from, I believe it's called dfh.fm. That's the website. It's their Iconic Fab Stealth Press. All the print files are on Printables, so you can get it and print them all off there. And the kit itself is $40 plus shipping. I think I paid, $6, $7 shipping. It was less than $50 for this whole thing, so you can't hate it. The kit comes with, soldering iron. Well, let's get into it and I'll show you what it comes with. All right, it has my name on it still, so I'm going to cover that up here while I get this open. Alright, so in the box, it comes with some nice foam. And then we've got not a key back. And it's important that you print the not a key back part. Because if you print the one for the key back, it doesn't fit, and then this is the key back is way too strong. We've got a soldering iron holder. We have our parts bag with heat sets, washers, bearings, all the screws you need for it. We have our heat set tips. That's one of the nice things that comes with the interchangeable tips. Our new soldering iron for it. This is a generic temp-controlled soldering iron. Cool. And then this is the backbone of the whole thing, the linear rail that it uses, which is quite nice. So now that we've got those parts out, let's go over the rest of this. So I printed 2 of these, which are alignment rods, or alignment blocks, for this linear rail. A drawer face and pull. A spacer for under the drawer. A drawer for putting a bunch of stuff in. And again, some of these are modified parts. The drawer, the spacer, the drawer front are all modified. This is the build plate for the modified one. It has, extra spacing here. There's an insert panel. The holder for the soldering iron. These are 2 support brackets. They're the same. The design files show a left and a right. They're the exact same piece. A strain relief holder. The spine. The top piece. I printed the top piece with a handle, because sometimes it's nice to be able to pick it up. This is the spacer that the press piece mounts to, and that this then mounts to the rail. This is your not a keyback mount. It prints as a two-piece that then snaps together. And the not a keyback mounts in the middle here. So. And then this is the lightweight modified base. The standard one is slimmer, does not have the pocket for the drawer. So now that we've got everything all laid out, let's start getting some of this assembled. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the new soldering iron for these components. First thing first, we'll pull this silicone tip off. This is a fairly generic soldering iron. I don't know if I can use that tip on my other iron, but I will set it to the side. Now, I always save the little baggies in these little cases because, you know, they are useful. Okay. And this is for storing the tips. Now, I will mention, I did print this out using ASA. And I haven't really worked with ASA before, but I wanted to try it on my Voron, see if it would handle it, and see if it was, you know, worth having. Because I do intend to do a Millennium Machines Milo sometime in the next couple of years. Now these are just designed to thread. Into this piece. They have some nice knurling on them, and they're designed to fit a bunch of different sizes. And I think I'm going to need the one for the M3s for this job. So I'm going to pull one of these out of here. And toss them in. And it looks like I actually need this one for it. Yep. So these screw into the bottom of this. And then should you need to change size, you've got the ones on the side plate here. Now this was designed for one of the, I forget what the designation is, but it's one of the USB-C soldering irons. I think it's a T100 or something like that. So it's got a piece over here for holding the tips for that one. I will also say you can order this whole kit and ignore the soldering iron and turn this into a drill press for a Dremel, basically. So I'm going to work out of this little box for those. I'm going to use the stand for this one. Okay, so power down and number key. All right, cool. And this is set at degrees C. Switch over to Fahrenheit with a double tap. I like to do my heat sets at about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It says to hold it. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so that's at temp, and we'll use that. Now we need heat sets here, 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 all of these holes, these two, those two, that one, those two, those two, those two, those two, and these two. And then if there's any extra, I need two here, two here, two here, think one here, but it might just thread indirect. And then there's space for some magnets. So let's start putting them in. See where we've run out of heat sets, and I gotta go dig into my box. Okay, I've got all of the heat sets in. Guess what? They have one extra. So I'm gonna take that as a sign that they planned on you doing all of these, which I will also take as a sign that they shipped most of the right hardware for this. So, a couple things I'm going to start with. I think I want to start with the bearings and the washers. They live up in here. Now these bearings are groove bearings. So the cable from the key bag will have somewhere to ride in. Well, not a key bag. Now if I had to guess, well, let's see if I got the right one for these here somewhere. Okay, so it's going to be one washer on either side of these. And now we're going to do that via the screw. It's going to take a little bit of finagling to get it. Okay. And these just thread into the plastic. So don't go too tight with them. Now, I was warned about this. You want this to sit right down on this cowl. And from what I've read, you want to use the generic 18 millimeter. Which makes sense. Now, the problem is this silicone sock here. You need to work it off. And then I'm going to slip the cable back through there. And then there should be enough clamp to hold this down. Now, the generic 18 might not be the right one for this iron. Or I gotta put that silicone sock back on. I'll play with that later. Just wanted to see if that was the case. I'll come back at the end and give you an update. I was checking because I want to mount this to here next. All right, that's done. Set that off to the side. We'll probably need it later. All right. Let's start on this piece. Now this will all mount up together as one big assembly here. Okay. Now these three, or these two, one is going to go here. And one's going to go there. And I'll cinch that top hole down first. Now when you mount these, you want to make sure these two are up. I'll mount this up right now as well, because while I'm on this side, I might as well. So as you can see, the assembly on this is fairly straightforward and pretty quick. So here's our not a key back. that's going to go in here. And it looks like it's just held in by tension. So I will get this screwed together and mounted. Okay, so the camera overheated for a second, so this is just about done. This piece just presses in. I didn't put magnets in the drawer just yet either, but that's okay. I wanted to turn the camera back on for the installation of this. I am going to have to reprint this as a 17 for my iron. They might all be different, just slightly. I've heard some people say you can get it with the sock on the 18. It's a little too wide for that with this one. Doesn't work. Some say that you can get it with the sock off on the 18. Again, a little too wide for this one. But, you know, that's what happens with these. Everything's a kit. So to do this, you feed this not a key back up through. You then feed it up and over here. Now I may want to undo one of these, I think, actually. And I'm going to put in a longer screw. They ship with 2 longer screws. I might wait to put them in until this is on. Make sure to get this on the channel. There we go. Now, the loop stays down, and there's a channel here. I think I assembled this upside down anyways, because this has a little circular hole. This does not, so I think it's supposed to actually be that way. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, that sits right there in that socket. So just pretend your iron's here, held perfectly in alignment. Excuse me. Perfectly in alignment with that hole. Down is perfect. Voila. Retracts it all the way up to the top and you're done. There's a bit of force, so I wouldn't say, you know, let go of it, but it'll work. This cable, sneak through here a couple different times, and that keeps any strain from happening to it. So, you know, if it was up here, probably want that much cable loose. Back up. Trap it in there with a piece of filament. You know, run it around, back forward, trap it in. Job done. So I printed up both of these. I think the 16 would fit if I took the sock off. The 18, or the 19, excuse me, fits with the sock on with a little persuasion. So we're gonna do that. Well, let that heat up while I take this apart. Now you can remove heat sets. They're just a little bit of a pain too. Trick is you gotta kind of just lever them out and they'll come out. Just remember not to grab them immediately after. The 18 is a no-go. The 16 may be a fine, but we're going with the 19. Now, this is a little bit tricky because, you know, I'm putting the heat sets in the piece that I've already run the iron through. I'm going to turn that off. Unplug the iron. Stick a those ones are gonna have to go in afterwards. Pretty sure. Yeah, those are gonna have to go in after. So this is going to be a little tricky on this one. Careful. Alright. Now this goes up here. Now I have to wedge the screwdriver in. In order for that to be correct. Now, I don't think these 8s are going to do it. I think they're 8s. And the answer is I don't have any black M3 by 10s, but I got some stainless ones. And by some, I mean one. So we're going to put one stainless screw in for the moment. I will try to draw it in enough to get a M3 by 8 in, but I'm not going to guarantee that's going to go. Oh, it did, so we'll back that out. So that is done there. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll let you know how this thing works out when I'm using it, but I think it's going to be a nice little tool. And it folds up into a nice little compact package. So, but thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you found this helpful. If you got questions, let me know down below, and I'll see you next time. That like and subscribe to keep things in the loop. I'm trying to get more stuff out in a timely fashion. So we still got a V0102 mod to do. I'm going to do some updates to the original V0. I had a couple mods for the V2. So we got some stuff going on. Plus, you know, car troubles and everything else. So, catch you next time. Sharks out.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really helps me out, and it lets you know when I put something new up. New videos will be going up on Tuesdays or Thursdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. And if I do decide to do live streams, I will try to give 24 hours notice. So hit the subscribe button on the channel, and you'll be notified when I post that stuff too. Hope to see you next time. Sharps out.